out saying hello to some new friends, but Jeff's made unbelievable contributions to our industry. He's made Marco the giant that they are, but he's also made us all better in everything we do. He's raised the bar for everybody, whether you're a big deal like Chip and Rick, or whether you're a smaller guy like a couple of us here in the room. And we've learned something from him every time we've had one of these meetings. He's been a competitor, but more importantly, he's been a friend. He's been a mentor to all of us. So Jeff, you want to come up here for a second? So knowing this, you know a guy that's got everything, right? So what do you do for a guy that's got everything? What can you get him? So it was pretty simple when we thought about that. Nothing. That's the one thing we don't have. There you go. So we got a nice little cover. We want to say thank you for everything you did. You've been a friend to all of us, and we really appreciate it. We appreciate your sharing with us. And we're going to let you take the mic and give us some words here, or advice, or whatever you want to say. You got a few minutes, and then we're going to go back and we're going to grab some cocktails. We're going to raise them in Jeff's honor. We're going to have a good time here. The rest of the meeting here is your meeting. If we want to, we've got a lot of good people in here. If we want to bring the panel back up here, if we want to throw questions at Jeff, we're going to do that if you guys want to. Otherwise, we're just going to hang out, socialize, and talk here in this room if you guys want to for a while. So, Jeff, it's yours. Thank you.
I'm glad you gave me a lot of warning on that. But here I am, right, at my last meeting. I remember my first one in 2007 with Luis Gonzalez. I think I was telling somebody that. And I joined the group, actually two groups. One, I had an opportunity to be on Sharp's advisory board. Mark and I have been on there together, and Rick, I know you and Joe, a bunch of us have been on there. But it was a way to get to meet some people in the industry, because I didn't know the industry. The second group was, I joined this group early on, at least for me, in my career in the copier side, like I said, in 2007. We owned an office furniture company, we owned an office supply company, we were retailers, we kind of had an IT company, and we had this copier business. And I'm like, kind of my first day on the job, I looked at the businesses, and I came up through office furniture. And I helped kind of establish the IT group, and those are really shitty businesses in my mind. Sorry, Chip and Mark, but I didn't care for those businesses. You had to go hunt to eat a little bit too much. I'm looking at the copier side, I'm like, shit, they get a check every month. And that's a really nice business model. Why wouldn't we do more of that? When I looked at our financials, the reason we weren't doing it anymore, but we weren't very good at it. Our margins were sub 30. They were 28% when I joined this group. Today they're 54 on hundreds of millions of copier service revenue. You guys got me going on that, because I would listen to Jim McCarter brag about 60%. I don't know if that was really the number or not, but that's what I heard. And so I go back to our people and go, how can they be doing this shit? How come we're at 28? And so a lot of you offered a lot of advice. Because I didn't know the business, I didn't know the industry, I just did it. I would go back and implement things, and they'd say, well, we can't have escalators in our market. I go, really, that's where they do it in Boston, they do it in New York, they do it in St. Louis, they do it in California. We can't do it in St. Cloud, Minnesota. No, our customers won't let us do that. But we just did it. We were bold. I feel like we executed really, really well, and so many good things that came out of here. Major accounts. We didn't have a major account program. Sharp told us we weren't very good at it. And I'm watching some of you in here had great major account programs. So we hopped on a plane and we went and share those best practices, not share them, but learn those best practices. And we kept doing that. And eventually, we got to where we're at today. But the point I'm talking about, the point I wanted to make was, back when I was paying attention, and somebody else mentioned it here, pay attention to your industry. I think Mike, you said that. Pay attention to people that are doing things right, and then go see if maybe they'll share that best practice with you. I love doing that, by the way. Most people are proud of their businesses, and they do like to do that. Thank you for doing that with me. Some of those people aren't here today. They're either moved on or sold their business. But this was just a great group to learn from. and it was fun to be a part of. It's one thing to learn something, it's another thing to share time and have fun together. So thank you for all of that. I've got good plans and fun plans for my future. And some advice to you is, I gave up my role about 3 weeks ago now. And I was telling somebody this, I couldn't believe, like when I got up on Sunday night, I went to bed on Sunday night, I'm going, damn, this feels pretty good. This peace of mind that comes over. But get out. Don't just kind of stay in, even though I'm chairman. I'm what they call non-executive chairman, which means, don't really get operational, get way too much. In fact, I'm paying not to do that. And so I'm really not operational. I'm really not. And it feels really good. So some of you that have pondered, retiring, if you're at that age, or you got the economic means to do that, which I think most of you do, it's a pretty darn good feeling. Because if you work till you're 75 or whatever, pick a number, you never get that time back. I can get out, and if I go, I don't like this, I'm really bored, I can get back in, but you don't get time back. So I'm going to spend my time wisely, and I recommend to you too, if you've been thinking about it. I made a comment earlier about some of the future of where print is kind of viewed a little bit. And there's a little pause going on right now. So it's a good time to think about yourself, think about your company, think about your business, and certainly start to diversify that business model. That, when it comes to value creation in your organization, I learned a lot about what the financial markets look at. My comp was based on creating value. What that means is, how much is our company worth today than it was last year at the same time? That's how I got paid. Creating value in the organization, not growing the revenue, not growing the EBITDA, although both of those matter. They also have multiple that comes into play. A managed IT services company is worth multiples more than a copier company. A recurring revenue business is worth way more than a VAR, project-based business model. A lot of you will get into managed IT, and by default, you'll end up selling hardware. You can't help it, because the IT manager and your sales reps and everybody else are going, well, they said they'll give us a decent margin for it. This will help us get the rest of the business if we sell it this cheap. You can't help it, you end up in it. But it's not a very valuable business. Is it, Mark? Remember? Mark, you and I, we were both bars back in 25 years ago, right? Yeah. And so we go back then, it was just a pathetic business. And the bar business, just reselling hardware. And then get an install fee, getting your ass chewed because it didn't go well, then give them credit. Am I pretty right on that? That's pretty much it. So it's come a long way since then. That's a good business. And by the way, I'd be happy even in retirement. Those of you that know me, if you want to, or even if you don't know me, if there's something I can help you with in any way, shape, or form, I'd be happy to be a resource for you. But with that, I just say thanks for your friendship, helping me get into the business and get to know some people and be friends with them and make our business better. So thanks for everything, and look forward to having some cocktails.